Hey guys, Mustached here. And you know, I thought I was done with this nonsense with EFAP. But I was willing to listen to them because I had a very sneaking suspicion that all of my suspicions would be proven correct about the coming out scene. You see, I made a prediction prior to this video that I'm making right now that said, in a vague sort of way, that EFAP was going to be too vague, their criticisms would be really basic, things of this, you know? But I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I didn't think that having 6 people on your panel and not a single one of them could, break away from this. I honestly don't know what else to call it other than a lie. I don't know how 6 people don't know. Really basic fucking information. If they want to make the claim that the Duffer Brothers are, they're not really great at writing, fine. But you know what? If you want to make that claim with vague assertions and some correct criticisms, again, if you've seen my previous video, you would know that I gave them those points. But, I should be able to hold up that sword and critique you guys the exact same way. Fair is fair, right? I should be able to hold you to your own apparent standards and just say, EFAP is really bad at critiquing, because all of them missed out the most basic information about the scene, and will misinterpret, lie, forget, or be too vague about a scene. So we're going to go over the Will coming out scene. We're not going over the entire 5 hours, because they cover the few episodes and then behind the scenes, which I always believe in death in the author, so I didn't give a fuck about that. I don't care if they were, late, or I don't care. I care about the end product. The thing that I thought that EFAP cared about. But no, I guess they're willing to share behind the scenes and try to expose. But, I guess having, falling back on your own standards is becoming EFAP practice at this point. So yeah, this time, however, unlike last time, we're actually going to be able to, I think, if I have this up correctly, we should be able to hear them this time. I have it off my recording, so this should be fun. So I'm going to pause it when I have an interjection. Sure, we're going to do this like EFAP style, except I'm doing it by myself. Unscripted, by the way. This is me unscripted, not, I don't have a script in front of me. I do have one trick up my sleeve, but I will tell you that it's a scene from the episode. So yeah, there's that. But hey, if you just want to pay really basic attention to stuff, you could just, do that. And maybe people would... Oh wait, they do take you seriously. They pay you money, EFAP. Oh, wow. It's almost as if you get paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to do a really shit job. Because that was your criticisms for the Duffer Brothers. So you see what I'm doing here is I'm just giving you what you're willing to throw out there into the universe, make public, and then get paid money to do that. So, I'm going to do the same, except I only have one supporter that pays me. So, I'm punching all the way to the gods. Because I don't give a fuck. Because I expect better of people who do get paid to do their job. which in your case, EFAP, would be critiquing as objectively as possible and not lying, not being vague, not being superfluous or, or any other nonsense. I suspect, or we should all, everyone who pays you, should all be wanting more from their critiquers if you want better from your writers, right? Same standards, right? So let's do this. Let's not hold back, shall we? So again, I'm going to play their clip.
This is an incredibly unpopular episode. So Will's having a little...
It's an incredible unpopular episode. So this is obviously, again, this is on the eve... I cut this part out, as I mentioned. They're talking about episode 7, the penultimate episode before the season finale and finale of Stranger Things. So, again, it should be surmised that the bulk of criticisms I have heard, I have debunked. Oh, they didn't have enough time, I heard, critiqued by the coming out scene. Oh, wait. They have until nightfall, because that's when all the shit's going down. They explicitly tell the audience this, and yet EFAP will ignore this, because of course they will, just like every other person I've seen critique the coming out scene. The scene goes on for far too long, which we'll get to. I'm going to hold off on that one, because I'm going to let whoever explains that one explain it first, and then I'm going to shred it to pieces, because, I think that's good practice. So let's continue.
Chat with Joyce.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. You might remember in the previous episode when Vecna used Will as a spy to learn that sick people go to hospital. But it turns out that actually that wasn't the only thing that happened. Something way more important than that happened, but that was off screen, so we didn't get to see it.
Okay, so what they're talking about, what he's alluding to, is that we don't see the visions that Vecna showed Will. Now, if you recall, I actually also initially critiqued this as well, because I was thinking in EFAP style. I was thinking, oh right, we show, don't tell, really basic stuff, but then I actually started to think like a real reviewer, a real critiquer, and I thought, wait, we don't need to see why Will would be anxious, nervous about people leaving him behind and feeling nervous for him. Because that was all of season 1 and 2 of Stranger Things. Jesus Christ. I felt really stupid coming to a really basic conclusion. I was like, holy fuck. No wonder we don't have to see it. We know what he means when he says Vecna has shown me things. We don't need to see it. We've seen it in a way through seasons 1 and 2 of Stranger Things. This is really basic shit.
And what happened was that Vecna was kind of weakening Will's mind, and like he was trying to fight back with happy memories, but Vecna managed to overpower his happy memories and showed him bad things. And Joyce says, well, yeah, but he tells lies, which he does. But Will says no, because what he showed me, that came from me. Like, he saw everything, thoughts, memories, secrets. And like Max had told him, like, Vecna's afraid, which means that Will can beat him, but, yeah, it's not going to happen if he...
I would like to point out right now, the scene that they are playing on screen, that they have covered up off screen, I will show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll pull it up on here, so I'm going to cover my face, kind of. So Mike is coming into the scene. This is really important, because this is the scene I'm about to show you guys. They are not going to talk about this scene. I wonder why. I wonder why they would leave that a few words out of the monologue. I wonder why TheLittlePlatoon would do that, despite playing the scene with no dialogue playing. I wonder if there's something Will says that cares to explain a critique I have heard from EFAP in this very episode. You see what I'm building up here is a little setup and payoff, a little Duffer Brothers special playing back at ya at real basic time from a guy who only has 200 subscribers and only one porter. But hey, I'm willing to do more work than EFAP, so again, just want to throw out the balance distortion between this gap here, alright?
This great secret that he knows about Will that now the world must be made privy to.
Okay, so that's already bad faith. Now the world needs to be aware of. That's bad faith. That is incorrect. No. So that's just a lie, in bad faith, or a joke. It's one of those two, and it's a really bad joke, if anything. But his tone is so serious that I can't distinct joke from seriousness, so I don't know, but hey, whatever.
But this is this makes a flaw in the entirety of all of the plans they make ever, is that they can't tell Will anything about anything that they ever intend to do.
They can't tell anyone anything. That's been the case for a while. Vecna can get inside everyone's heads.
Get in anyone's heads, Vecna. Well, no. In Season 4, it seemed to be established that people had already had symptoms and were weakened. That was what was set up in Season 4, if we all remember that correctly, right? Good faith interpretation first, right? They all had very similar things going on, the 4 people, even though they didn't seem like they were connected in any meaningful way. That was the whole setup of Season 4 of Clear Vecna.
But they
So
just
it'll have to
don't
be-
remember this, nor does Vecna.
No, because he never even tries to do this.
No,
Really. I mean, he does it once for Hopper, right?
yeah.
Once for Hopper. Now, I will remind you guys, Hopper was caught by the Mind Flare thing. I think it's in Season 2. So, that would make me, in good faith, interpret to me that Hopper would be more sustained into an attack through Vecna, because he was already, in the glooped up by the Mind Flayer thing through the tunnels in Season 2. So that's why he would be more susceptible to an attack in good faith. You see how that works? Good faith, calling back to previous seasons, using what the show has already given us to give us an answer without having to tell us. That's what I would call good faith. I don't know, but hey, again, you can just be lazy and say, no, he just can not decide to attack and all that, whatever.
Why would he not? We've just this is one of the things that pisses me off about the scene that's coming, right? Is that not only have we forgotten what characters' power levels and power sets are and what their motives to use these things are.
I think you guys forgot. You didn't even bring up Season 2, like I just did. Interesting. I mean, I know they don't either, the Duffer Brothers, but hey, I guess I'm just willing to do more work than everybody at this point, I guess.
But we've also sort of started contorting the plot around this. Like, this scene, you can remove from the episode and nothing changes.
That's false. That is objectively false. If Will does not do this, and then proceeds to do what he does in the next episode, 11 dies. Or, Vecna starts fighting back 11. Pay the fuck attention! Jesus Christ, do I really have to spell that out for you? That he does this so that he is free from Vecna's fear stuff, so that he can now overpower and help assist 11 kill, quote-unquote kill Vecna, because I know he doesn't do the final blow, but point being, he essentially gets an assist kill, as I had mentioned previously, but he wouldn't have been able to do that if this scene does not exist. This is really straightforward. This is so fucking basic, and yet the TheLittlePlatoon just lied. That is a fucking lie. There's no way that was some sort of misinterpretation, or maybe he missed something. No, I refuse to believe that. I think he just lied right there. I don't know how else to describe this. This is like really like critic 101 shit right here I'm going over. Come on. You can't have missed this.
Can remove from the series and nothing changes.
True.
And it never comes back.
And Starwars Girl says true. So she also didn't pay attention, but at least she claims she isn't a writer. At some point, not in this clip, but...
Like, Vecna doesn't even try to use something, so the conclusion of the scene isn't that Will has learned anything which gives him new power to resist it, 'cause
it's not about him learning anything. That's not... Wow, way to also misinterpret the scene. It's about him overcoming his fear. Fuck. How do you... How? This is, like, really fucking basic. How is TheLittlePlatoon this fucking bad and has this many subscribers? It's fucking embarrassing. Like, holy fuck. Like, even if you're gonna critique it, at least be fucking honest. At least say what the scene is actually about first, instead of saying this dog shit that I'm hearing coming out of this.
he doesn't have anything to resist. So all we're doing is gonna do a long 12-hour rehearsal fucking speech, which throws everything out of whack, and have to invent an entire off-screen series of drama to justify its inclusion.
So they're just recapping what I have already debunked or have gone over, just to be clarify here.
It's insane.
Well, and additionally, it's just like a creative but easier thing for Vecna to do than sending a bunch of Debuks to kill people is to just, when Hopper's like, got a gun, preparing for a fucking crawl or whatever, just, you know, create an illusion. For everybody, by the way, simultaneously.
Oh, it's almost as if he has limitations. Crazy. It's not like he's overpowered and can just do everybody. It seems like the Duffer Brothers in this exchange have outbested you, Mauler. They gave him limitations. The very thing that you're trying to say that he doesn't have, by the way. Huh. Interesting. Okay, keep fucking around and finding out through me that you're dog shit at this. Thank you, and keep going.
Honestly, why not? Or if it's just Hopper, whatever. And a Demogorgon comes in the room and he's like, rah, and goes to attack Will, and you know, Hopper's like, oh my god, shoots it, and then hallucination over, he just shot Joyce. It's like, wait, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, he could have just doing that the whole season, the whole forever.
Illusion powers are one of the most, like, they scale with creativity, and there's a lot of cool things that you could do with them. They're like, oh, you think you're going to cross the street because you don't see any cars coming? Well, actually there was, and you just stepped out into traffic.
And it would torment the shit out of these characters. Well, yeah. They can't trust a single thing, ever.
They'd end up like,
It's almost as if he has limitations and can't get everybody at once. Wow, it's almost as if I'm just reverse engineering your entire debate back on using your logic against you. This is really easy. I should get paid thousands of dollars to do this. Jeez, this is really easy to debunk.
Like the crazy lady in the
Final Destination Bloodlines?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Specifically,
somebody in chat said he has the Reality Stone. It's like, no, it's more powerful. He can use it from dimensions away.
He is the
it's insane,
the Mind Power Stone. If he has that power, and I've noticed a
still
lot of
going
people
on.
specifically point to
Jesus
the Hopper
Christ.
in the tank where he thinks that he shot 11, and I'm like, he should be doing that all the time.
Yep.
They should constantly be second guessing everything that they hear and everything that they see. But then it's like, oh, you've just given him a power.
So you want Vecna to have powers to be overpowered, Rags, right? That's what you're saying he should have. That's not what I saw. I saw him being very limited in his powers, as almost as if he had like a baseline and a threshold that someone else could surpass, like the good guys, like really basic shit. I don't know, but I guess you just want your villains to be overpowered, but, you know, you do you. You get your overpowered villains. I guess you just want evil Superman. I don't know. I mean, I have higher standards than that, I guess. I mean, I guess having an overpowered Superman is like what we have in The Boys. But hey, even he has limitations, so, you know.
Or he can't lose. But I guess we've been in that realm for a long time. But that's why you got to give him some limits to his power.
It's almost as if they gave him limits to his powers, Rags, by having him not being able to do everyone at once. Do you hear yourself? You like, debunked yourself in real time, Rags. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ.
He can't do. You have to be close to him physically, or it only works if your emotions get really high and you're weakened, and maybe you're.
Or maybe, like Hopper, you got into the Mind Flayer gloop and got susceptible enough to be targeted. Maybe that's just enough. Because that extends a rule, right? Without having to do all this extra legwork that you're trying to pull for an overpowered character that apparently you want but don't want. Make up your fucking mind. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Like, what is this critique? It's really fucking all over the place right now. It'd be really nice to have some consistency, because apparently the Duffer Brothers have that over you right now, is more consistency. Which I guess is embarrassing since you seem to think that they're dog shit, so,
You're distracted, or something like that to balance it out, just for the sake of, again, you can't give the villain a power that makes them essentially guaranteed to win. But think of all the creative, cool stuff they could have done. He could have preyed on people's insecurities and the...
Like he does in Season 4? Or, like, when they were also weakened on top of that? Like that? You mean the very thing we saw in Season 4? Like, I don't understand what this critique is from the things that we saw in the previous season. Like, hello? Wake up. Pay attention. I don't know. Like, it's like you want to ignore a season when it benefits your critique, I guess. Again.
Their fears, and Hopper's would specifically be losing 11 or being worried about 11, and that's what...
And he ends up shooting 11. Oh, that sounds like having the fear just play out in real time. I don't know. Oh, that sounds really bad for Hopper. It's almost as if that happened in the show. But hey, we can ignore that, I guess.
You know, Vecna preys on. And for Will, it's being gay or something, and for...
Or something. Yeah. You don't have to say, or something, Rags. Jeez. It's really straightforward. I wish I could, have multiple clips up of, why coming out through seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 and all this would have been, really hard. But I only have one clip, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to just tell you stuff that happens in those seasons. Because I don't want to have to do too much digging. But it's like the bullies call him a faggot. He's questioned by Hopper about his sexuality in Season 1. So even that seems to imply that there's even like a hint of early potential homophobia. And Season 2, when he returns, it's made quite clear from the bullies that they're gonna infringe upon him, and the other characters are going to worry about him. The very thing he said that they would do through Vecna's vision. Huh. It's almost like it's poetry, it rhymes. I know, it's crazy that I'm able to just acknowledge the things that have come before to say, like, I actually didn't need a vision anymore. I saw it with my own eyeballs in Season 2. Huh, crazy. But I guess we'll just ignore Season 2 to make this critique make any logical sense, though. Because we're lazy as fuck.
Steve, it's about being forgotten in the show, and all sorts.
Steve being forgotten in the show... though he's in the finale. I mean, did you want them to kill him off? I mean, I guess. I don't know what you're asking for. That's the thing. It's like, he's present. He comes up with the plan, so it's like, it's his plan. They acknowledge this, that this was Steve's plan in the finale. That was him, baby! To reach the Abyss universe. That was his plan! Fucking Steve! Stepping up the fucking plate! Oh, I guess we're not gonna acknowledge Steve for the very things that he's cool at, but even though they appreciate Steve, but though they're trying to downplay Steve, even though it's his plan. I don't know. Like...
to stuff. And it could be very character-specific powers that would be awesome.
But no, we can do this instead. So,
Pretty good.
it's basically the entire population of the town.
There's he repeats it. He repeats it, so it has to be a lie. The entire town, LittlePlatoon? Why such bad faith over-exaggeration, LittlePlatoon? Why would you say it twice? You have to be lying. You can't just not be. This is fucking bad, and nobody pushes him on this. They just let it go. The rest of the people on this panel just let it the fucking go. Fuck. Have some fucking standards for your fellow reporter of this, I guess. Because this fucker's just lying right now. Again.
Summoned into the room just to make sure that it's as personal as possible. And this is the big famous speech that everyone is broadly, well, at least one line of which everyone's familiar with by now. I don't think it's worth going through the entire thing. There's a couple of, there was a conformity gate thing that came out of this as well.
Just to say, I didn't really need a conformity gate. I thought this finale was fine. Just to make my stance on that really fucking clear, like, I mean, I guess it could have been a cool thing if it really did exist, but, like, I didn't need it. Like, this finale was fine. But it's not like EFAP was gonna change my mind on that, because their review style is dog shit, so my standards are a bit, you know, they have to be changed with substance, is the word I'm looking for. Substance. I would love some substance, please. Feed me the substance.
The basic gist of it is, I'm just like you, but I'm also different, and, you know, I like all the same things as you do. Like, we like playing D&D late into the night, and even though that a big point of Season 3 is that they don't like doing that anymore, but never mind.
Like 90% of this is junk food as well. He just keeps listing all the snacks they like to eat.
Lots of snacks. Biking to Melvolt's for malted milkshakes was the one that went into Conformity Gate because we were at Melvolt in Season 3 as well, I think, and it doesn't sell milkshakes. So people were like, see, it's proof. This is all a lie. It's not there. They just weren't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it just goes on and on and on until it finally gets to the big famous line, I don't like girls, which is just great.
Join the club.
Okay, so what's wrong with the line? Like, I've yet to hear a good critique of it. I mean, yeah, sure, you can meme it, but, like, what's wrong with it? Like, tell me, what's wrong with it? Seriously, like, okay, you've made a claim, substantiate your claim. Go on, do it.
No, yeah.
A line that Mike already said to him.
Season 2. Yes, when Mike says, oh, you don't like girls, my interpretation of that scene was, you don't like girls yet, which was a setup because the payoff is that a girl asks him to dance in the dancing sequence and he does so. It's almost as if I can just recall other things that happen in the show, the interpretation of that very same dialogue shifts to say, you don't like girls yet. You don't have a girlfriend yet. Because I have a girlfriend. It's 11, see? You don't like girls yet. Because you don't have a girl yet. The only word he left out is yet. And I think that is insanely intentional, but nope, don't even fucking think about the actual, like, going over season 2 and actually thinking about the events that precede it to come to a logical conclusion of what Mike actually meant when he said that. This is really basic info, like, really easy to disprove. It's like, yeah, that's clearly not what he meant when he was saying it. That's pretty obvious.
So, another conformity gate thing is like, see, he's repeating lines that have been stated already, and you're like, oh god.
Can I just say something at a risk of being a bit...
You're gonna say you like women?
I was gonna say, you know, his close friend is in a mixed race relationship in the 80s as well, right? And not one person has even looked at this and went, what?
Billy. The character you're about to bring up. The one character, yeah. So you're wrong, but you're gonna bring that up to disprove your own point, I think, right?
Well, and there's no pushback or even kind of like... You don't even get a character that's like, ugh.
Billy. Literally, Billy. Mauler's doubling down to disprove.
It's just like full happy acceptance.
Well, of course, they've completely removed basically every single reference to what would be a town that would be 99.9% Christian. So, I mean, I get it all fits.
Oh,
I mean, they briefly had a satanic panic in season 4, but that's...
They had one racist character who cared.
Oh! That's all you need! Whoops! Like, do you want more racist in the show? Like, you want more characters in what you guys considered an over-bloated cast? What? Or do you want someone else who wasn't coming across as that to be that? I'm very confused about... Because that would be out of character for them, based on... The kids wouldn't be racist. Because they didn't come across each other. They were already friends in season 1, so why would any of them be racist? Or even, like... So it can't be any of them. Everyone else, the parents seem chill about it. But then you have Billy, the guy you're calling out as the one you would need, but you want more, even though it would be out of character. Do you see, like, how fast this falls apart? Because they're trying to make a claim, break the claim, but but use it to reinforce their very claim? Like, what the fuck is this? I'm sorry, but, like, you don't need, like, a town filled with racist. You don't need 2 racist in a show. You really only need 1 if you're going to do a thing about it. It's really that simple.
Through the entire...
Well, that was kind of the thing, right?
It's like... The actor wanted to make him a racist, right? The Duffer Brothers just wanted him to be a psycho.
It feels so performative, as like the Duffers are like, give us points for this. And it's like, you haven't even created a world that it would be difficult to come out in.
Oh, they haven't? Like the bullies that call him a faggot? That world? In season 2, the world that you are ignoring currently to make your point. Really? Are you sure about that? When Hopper questions his sexuality in season 1? Really? It's easy to just come out. Really? So you should have been able to do it earlier. According to your logic, right? Just do it in front of the bullies. Fuck it, right? I mean, no one cares, right? He could just do that, right? They're not gonna kill him if he does, right? Come on. Be a little better faith than this.
It's kind of just like, yeah, everyone does every day. Nobody cares. It's like,
shouldn't,
right.
Yeah, if anything, why would I be afraid of coming out in this Midwestern town in the 80s when everyone is purely supportive of me?
It's like, it's almost as if that's not the case, and even if that is true, it's almost a thing that he says that is the reason that you guys will ignore to make this critique even work. Interesting.
Completely 100%, and I have nothing to worry about whatsoever. What's the big deal? What's the brave thing about it? What's the virtuous aspect of it? There's none.
As was said in chat, even the gays complained it was not homophobic enough.
What? Even the gays said this wasn't homophobic. what even is that sentence? Did he, like, misread what his chat is saying? Or because, like, I can't read the dialogue of it's too small for me to read, so, like, I don't know who the hell he's calling out on the chat, but, like, what the fuck? Do you even hear yourself read your retarded chat? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? It's like, there were gay people who are claiming that it's queer bait, not that it's homophobic. At least get your terms right, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, like, I can say, because I'm a proper critic, yeah, of course this wouldn't end with Will and Mike being together. Why would they? Mike isn't bisexual, because he already likes Elle since season 1, so why would he come out as bi because he can't be gay since season 1. That was established in season 1. He likes 11 right out of the gate of seeing her. So it can't be that he's gay, so at the bare minimum he would have to be bisexual, which they also don't even fucking hint at. So why would anyone think that they would hook up either? That doesn't make any logical sense. That also doesn't make any sense. Read basic fucking... I know I'm attacking, like, people who want progressive material, but your progressive material needs to make fucking sense. If you want representation, then your representation needs to make fucking sense. This is really easy.
And that's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. This was, I mean, for lack of a better term, this was their struggle. And
well, Hopper didn't show up.
He wasn't
Maybe
allowed
Hopper...
in the room because he would have been like, you.
Hopper learned some things in that Russian prison, all right?
Yeah, this scene is, like, statistically impossible.
Why? Statistically, what does that even mean? Like, explain yourself. What's statistically impossible about it?
But also, like, I wish to know, I mean, not wish, I know, if Billy were to survive season 3, you know he would be in this room.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's the asshole that gets killed. And he probably, like, would have said something. Yes, but that was his character. He's dead now. So, you want a character to be resurrected. Is that what you're saying? Is that, like, what do you want? Like, what is this critique?
He would be like...
Well, it would have been funny as hell if each of them say, add me, add me, add me, like Lord of the Rings style, then it cuts to Billy and he just says a slur. like, hey.
Okay, so, first, why would Billy, if he were alive, let's assume in good faith for the EFAP argument that, let's assume Billy were alive, why would he be with them at this point? He had, like, let's assume he didn't self-sacrifice himself at the very end, right? At season 4, or 3, which, I think it's 3, right? Yeah, the mall, season 3, excuse me, so, he doesn't do that. But he would still have to overcome his sister past that point. That would have to be his character arc moving forward. At the bare minimum. So maybe he would be present for her scenes, and maybe he would be there in that context, like holding the wheelchair for her maybe, and like, you know, trying to make up for it, maybe being a little bit too overprotective of her in that sense. I don't know, like, things of this. So maybe he wouldn't even be paying attention. I don't know, like...
Hey, Mel, am I the only guy who's not an F-word in here in this room?
So Rags doesn't want to say faggot. Why? Isn't he bi? Like, what is this? What is the nervousness here? I don't... What happened? What's with the cowardice all of a sudden? You can, like, I don't understand. Like, what?
But yeah, I also went to like that line when he's talking to Joyce, and Platoon mentioned like it's not shown to us when he saw the bad things, and when you
Again, I've already talked about this, how we actually don't need to see that, so...
think about it like that, again, like that's a very important thing, I mean, seems to be very integral to the plot. So, we should be, in idea, shown those things.
And again, I initially agreed with this until I thought about it harder. We actually don't need to see it. We have seen it without needing to see it. Because, again, that was season 1 and 2 of the over-concern for Will. We don't need to see it. We can put the puzzle pieces together of what he means because we were seeing it throughout seasons 1 and 2.
But then you think about what those bad things probably was. It's just him making out with boys, probably, and Vecna. And when I think about, like, oh, Vecna...
Wait, why would that be bad? He's gay.
Vecna also saw that. That must be very awkward. That entire thing.
Well, he actually does, because the speech includes what Vecna did show him. Like, it's mentioned after the fact. So he says, that Vecna showed me a future. In this future, some of you are just worried for me.
Just worried for me. Yeah. Not that they would hate him. Not that they would be homophobic. That they would be worried. Like they were in season 1 and 2. When he was the one that was kidnapped. Really straightforward. We don't need the visions. We have the answer. It's season 1 and 2. Hello? Brain? Operate. Please compute this really basic information. Please.
Worried that things will make it harder, and it makes me feel like something's wrong with me, so I push you away, and for the rest of us, we just drift apart more and more and more until I'm alone, and I...
Which happened in season 3! Where's the lie? They stopped playing D&D, remember? A loop. It's a poetry. It rhymes. Where's the lie? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It sounds like what Vecna was actually playing was the loop of all of the things that have already happened. Because he didn't need to show him nothing in the future, apparently. Whoops. Uh-oh.
I know that none of that's happened, and Vecna can't see into the future, but he can see into our minds, and it felt so real. So even in his own recounting of this most incredibly important series of visuals and the stuff that we didn't see, there's kind of nothing there. Like, no...
Though, if you're a better critic, there's plenty to take away from that. Plenty. I just did it for you. I just did your job better than you, LittlePlatoon, so fuck off. Alright? Get better at your job, or fucking lose, and just stop. Or get good. I prefer you get good. I don't want you to, like, lose your job, alright? I'm not that type of critic. I want you to get good. I want you to earn your fucking paycheck. Because this is fucking pathetic. This fucking basic bitch shit. But you're just like the Duffer Brothers according to your own logic, so I'm...
It's... The fear he has is that people will be worried for him.
Which, again, is season 1 and 2.
So it's like, this is the vision that he's been shown by the villain who's trying to create in his mind the worst possible vision of the future. And in that vision, it's just, oh yeah, people are kind of concerned.
Which sort of started to push in season 3. Right? It almost completely divided their entire friendship, and they would have lost. Where's the lie? I'll wait, because I don't hear you guys even bringing that up. No one else is going to bring that up, because of course they won't.
It's just like, fucking commit. If you're going to do it, commit.
Well, yeah.
It's like they committed without needing to. Holy shit. It's really fucking easy.
You're not going to commit. Don't do it.
Maybe that's something that's worth saying. This is obviously not the worst scene in the show.
And yet, you're going to lie about it, and make it seem like it's worse than it actually is. Oh, like, Okay.
Know why anybody would say that it is. Like, it's not even really close. There's an idea here that is, like, totally fine. The idea that he needs to be sort of, like, fully integrated as a person in order to...
So, to do what he just did is become integrated with the rest of the group by being him full self. So, that's what he did. Congratulations, Fringy. You completed the scene that happened in the show. But you're saying that's not what happened. Because... why?
To, you know, come through and save the day. Like, there is
Which he does. Help assist save the day.
an idea here that can work, and there is a placement of this scene that can work. But the execution and the placement of this scene, particularly at this point in time, like in the story, right before the finale, ill-advised.
Ill-advised why? Why is it ill-advised? Why? Why, Fringy? Why, oh why is it ill-advised to have a scene like this? I wonder if you'll explain instead of just saying these vague sentences, or if you're just gonna say nothing.
Like, the whole thing is really sloppy.
Absolutely.
Why? Why is it sloppy? You're just saying a new term. You're not explaining why it's sloppy.
And
but
that's
yeah,
why
the
it's
idea that this is
highlighted.
the worst scene and that it makes it the worst episode, like this scene, is kind of insane to me.
I think it's more just like, it's the most typically Netflix scene of the thing. That's what people, I think, a lot of people latched onto it.
Oh no, Netflix is LGBTQ friendly. So? Like, fuck, if it's one of the only companies that's like, oh, we're pretty chill with that community. Like, fuck, they're like one of the only companies that actually gives a single fuck. While Disney, by comparison, is like, haha, what? We have our totally first gay character, tee-hee. Oh, wait, they're a background character. Oh, wait, we can just delete them for China. Oh, wait, we can just, like, have it be a 2-second thing that we can cut out so easily, tee-hee. Look at us, Disney. We're so LGBT friendly. Gee golly willikers, guys. You see, like, come on. Come on now. We can all dunk on Disney together, right? Like, at least if you're gonna try about Netflix being LGBTQ friendly, which that critique is baffling to me, I would think that would be a thumbs up. A thumbs up for acceptance of those communities who have been so wrongfully been shat on by Disney and by other big corporations outside of Disney. At least they have a space now. Fuck me for a company having space for this type of stuff, I guess. It almost sounds as if you're implying that they shouldn't even have this type of space, LittlePlatoon. That might be the most homophobic implication you make in this entire video. Yikers.
Because like put a chicken and make it learning gay is kind of the thing, which is kind of what you've got. And it's
oh, but they're gonna joke about the whole Disney thing, right? But not actually like make the obvious comparison to what Disney actually does, which is do that, but then not actually commit. They actually don't commit. They actually don't commit. The real non-committers are Disney. Uh-oh. Where's your counter to that, LittlePlatoon, you fuck? You lazy fuck.
So obviously preachy, and it so obviously wants you to reward it, so it's almost become a meme to deliberately get the opposite response.
I think there is a degree of mockery here. Like, yes, this is the Duffer Brothers were really proud of themselves, and like it's pretty sloppy.
You're just reinforcing you're sloppy. You're not explaining why it is sloppy, Fringy. How about you stop being a lazy fuck critic and actually explain why it is sloppy?
Like, the idea that this is something that they should be like, oh man, this is what it was all leading up to. It's like, all right, calm down.
I mean, season 1, they had Joyce have him, ask if, sort of beat around the bush, and then Hopper asked if he was gay. In season 2, he drew the gay spaceship, rainbow flag, literally, Joyce implies. You have him being called a faggot by the bullies. In season 4, and season 3, you have him clearly crushing on Mike there, with Mike not reciprocating because he's straight, and so on and so forth. So, I don't know, I think this is really straightforward, but I guess we could just lie about everything not being set up in basic payoff to make our points for us, right, Fringy? Right? We could just lie about everything about Stranger Things, and that's okay to dunk on the Duffer Brothers, right?
Like, chill out, alright?
They're crying. It's just like everyone else is.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very
like I said, it feels performative. It's all very much like, I get it. You want awards for this one, huh? We worked so hard. And to place it right as the big battery charging scene to take down the Lovecraftian alternate planet world monster demon creature. You're just like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, explain why you can't have this. Explain why. Give me a reason. Anything? Anything, Mauler. Anything at all. Or are you just going to be vague and just leave it at that? Because that's not a critique. It's not. It really isn't.
It's like, they're not more important things to happen. If this is as important as the...
Oh, I guess he doesn't have anything.
You needed to have made it important.
He doesn't have anything. Right. Because that's EFAP standards. It's just to say, make a claim, don't substantiate claim. What is this? What is this dog shit? Setup and payoff is something apparently the Duffer Brothers can do, but, like, you guys can't even critique properly. You make a claim and you don't prove your claim. You can't even do that correctly, but you get paid to not do that correctly. Interesting. Interesting. It's almost as if I'm saying you're more dog shit than the Duffer Brothers right now. If you want to say that they're dog shit, you have to be beneath them. Point blank. There is no exception. But yet you get paid. Make that make sense. Thank you.
Like, there are ways of doing that. F has mentioned that we'd actually played meaningfully with Vecna's ability to give people these visions. If you'd spent most of this season giving each of the core cast in turn, like, a Vecna vision of them.
So he wants Vecna to be overpowered and reach everybody. Is what LittlePlatoon is asking for, right? He wants him to be able to mind manipulate everyone. That's overpowered! Huh, it's almost as if they gave him limitations. We're back to this critique. Holy fuck.
The most awful, terrifically horrible future imaginable. The point where they are all kind of despairing, and then Will is the one who has seen this before and is the one who can lead them out of it, and like he's the first person to overcome the fear of this imagined future. Then you can sort of justify this scene as him being teaching other people about the general importance of self.
Or it could just be about him. It could be about something completely different, but you're not even going to encroach upon what it's actually about. It could be about that. I don't know. It could be about him overcoming his individual fear to rejoin the group, and what would become an extremely pivotal moment for him because he ends up killing Vecna. I don't know. A really basic fucking read is all I need to defend this point. Crazy. Crazy how that works, I guess. Hey. I only have one PayPal supporter, so... I guess I can just be lazy and just leave it at that, right? Right, EFAP? That seems to be your standard, so I'm just gonna click play at this point.
Self-acceptance, self-respect, and, being able to stick together through hard times. There are ways of doing that. I still don't think it needed as many people in the room.
It didn't need as many people in the room. I think it's a good time to, to show this. This is the scene that they won't play. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, we'll be out in a minute.
Wait. I think you need to hear this too. Everyone does.
everyone does. Uh-oh. 2 words. I debunked what they're going to continue to say. 2 words coming from Will that they will ignore to make their entire critique make work. Everyone does. 2 fucking words that none of these fucks will fucking utter. Because they're willing to lie to you. They're willing to not play that audio for you of Will saying, everyone needs to hear this. That was Will. That was before the monologue, but hey, I guess we can ignore that to make our points, right? Just lie, just omit information. This is lying. This is outright lying to your audience. But hey, you get paid to lie professionally, right? This is your fucking standards. This is fucking pathetic. And I expected so much better from people who get paid to make critique work. I really did. 2 words. It's really cool what 2 words can do. It's almost as if it explains everything.
I think it should have been probably just Joyce and me.
It doesn't matter what you think, LittlePlatoon. This is about Will. It's about what Will thinks. That's his character moment. It matters what he thinks. Should be the case. He came to the conclusion that everyone needed to hear this, LittlePlatoon. So it doesn't matter what you think it should have been. That critique doesn't work anymore. What you want. It doesn't work anymore. I'm gonna strip that away from you. What you want, you can't have it. Because it's not yours in the first place. You don't deserve it.
EB Mike, and that's it.
Yeah, why is this about everybody?
Because Will asked everybody, Fringy. Everyone needs to hear this, Fringy. 2 words. Wake up, people listening to EFAP. Fringy is also abetting in the lie that is happening right now. And I will not just sit around and let this continue. This outright lie. Will says it. Everyone needs to hear this.
That's the route for parody. It's already stupid enough with how many people are in there, but if you...
Oh! Mauler's tripling down on the lie. Really? Really? Even despite Will said, it's almost as if you're ignoring what Will said to make your points, guys. EFAP. Why is this lie connecting all of you together? Why?
Threw in Karen Wheeler as well in a hospital gown, and then he threw more people, and you have all their reactions, and then it pans to the right,
Bob
and
shows up.
well,
He's just here.
I was gonna say Vecna.
And now they're trying to make a joke about it to cover up that, oh, we want to make sure that our audience is laughing so they don't check to see what Will said. The thing I just did for you guys. And if you didn't see the video or audio, I'm saying what Will said and saying that everyone needs to hear this. That's what Will said, in case that didn't come across.
There is standing there, and he wipes a tear away.
The guy, the military.
I mean, I guess it's probably reflected in the scene, right? Because at the end, when they're all like, "That's okay, Will, you know, you're great," and then they do the hug. It's like there are a lot of people who are excluded because, of course, they are. Why would they be part of this? You know, you got Joyce.
Because Will asked them to. You know, it's like you could just keep making retarded points over and over again, and I can refute them by saying the same thing that I just said. It's crazy what a phrase can change in a scene, in any given scene. It's crazy that when a character says, everyone should hear this, that everyone who is in the vicinity proceeds to hear the thing that needs to be heard. Whoa! Crazy! Jesus Christ! You get paid, Fringy, to make this pathetic, false, like, dichotomy, or whatever the fuck, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're just making shit up. You just want something completely different. But also simultaneously lying about the thing that it is. It's crazy to me that that's the case, but whatever.
You got Jonathan, you got Mike, and even then, Robin's like, haha, this is great, because obviously they were like, well, she should probably have a reaction. It's like, yeah, but she doesn't know him well enough, so she shouldn't be, she doesn't get up and join the group hug, because it's like, yeah, because you don't really know each other that well. Like,
a good example would be Steve, who's kind of just like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then,
Well, yeah, some of the faces are very funny. Have you shown some of the faces to, yeah, there's some weird reactions. Nancy in particular is
Nancy doesn't get a lot of screen time in this scene. You get little of her, but the little faces you can kind of catch look like she might be kind of borderline finding this amusing, not,
Or finding it cute. It's weird how a different word can just, change the same, this sort of look. You know? Interesting. It's almost as if they're trying to paint Nancy as a worse character on purpose because they hate Nancy. And I already know that they hate Nancy because they keep saying it. Even though, like, Nancy's a fine character. She's fine. Like, I don't know what else to say. I guess I could just say that she is a fine character because that's the EFAP standard. I can just substantiate that without needing any proof of my claim, apparently. Counter argument. Nancy is fine. She's a well-written character. There you go. There you go. That's EFAP. That's EFAP logic for you. You gotta believe me, right? Because I made the claim. I don't have to substantiate my claim, I guess, but here we are. Here the fuck we are.
You're like a silly, not meaningful.
Because they've been trapped in this room for 12 hours listening to
which is insane
over and over again. It's like,
yeah,
is
I've heard that.
Well, why do people like the idea that it took a day to shoot this? Is that like insane? Is that like a crazy?
it's not a barrage.
So the reason that's insane is because it already shows just how overwritten all of it is.
Overwritten. Alright, I guess we have to address this critique. I knew it was coming up at one point or another. Overwritten. You know, I would have once upon a time, I would have agreed with Mauler, but, there's a certain word, or phrase. It's called thinking. I know that might sound hard, Mauler, but, think with me here, right? Overwritten. And you have Will be the one who's written this monologue, right? What can that tell us about a character? That he's going on and on, but the two words he will never say is I'm gay. He will dance around the issue. What does that tell us about a character? That he's wordy, that he's afraid, that he's nervous, that he's really trying to find himself within this very moment. I named 3 things that this overwritten thing accomplishes. Oops. I've now given proof to my claim, unlike EFAP. Uh-oh. Totally debunked. This is not that hard, you guys, to actually look at a piece of media and go, why would something be extended for a period of time? You have to pay more attention. Why is it that that's the case? Who is saying it? Why might they be saying it that way? There are questions you can ask to arrive at your conclusions, you guys. This is really basic writing 101. Writing 101. For fuck's sake, Mauler. I thought you claimed that you were some great critic. I mean, you have the sub count, I guess, but, like, you're just, like, really missing out on some really basic shit right now to try to make your critique make any logical sense. Because you're being so fucking vague right now.
It needs to be way leaner than this if you're going to actually...
Way leaner? Why? Wouldn't that remove the very thing that they're trying to accomplish? In that he's nervous, so he's like, in this, oh geez, I don't want to say it, like, maybe, and then he kind of scrambles and he says, I don't like girls, but, no, I mean, I do, like, that happens in the scene that gets memed, that part that gets memed, there's a reason, like, he, like, realizes what he also implied by saying that, and then he had to re-stumble and keep going. Because he was nervous. Because he was scared. These are words you can use to describe characters, and these are called character flaws. I know, EFAP likes to think that character flaws equals bad writing, because that's what they did to Dustin in Season 2, by claiming that because Dustin made a single mistake in Season 2, that he was entirely character assassinated. Or something along those lines, was their claim that they made. Something along those lines, right? But I don't know. I think character flaws make characters more interesting. They make them more compelling. They make the writing stronger, not weaker. Counter argument? Nothing. Alright.
Do it. Needs to be way less
Well,
people
yes, I
saying
agree
way
with
less
that.
things.
Doesn't need to be like 5 minutes.
And then, of course,
Why? Why does it need it to be 5 minutes? Why does it need to be 5 minutes? Why? Why, Fringy? Why does it need to be 5 minutes? Why the time limit? They have time. They have plenty of time. It's daytime. You can see through the shades. It's still daytime. They have until nighttime. They have time. They have plenty of time. Why do they need? Why does it need to be 5 minutes, Fringy? Are you gonna substantiate your claim? Why?
dragon, like, this is supposed to be the emotional high point, not only for, like, some of these characters, but kind of a fucking series. Like, they see this as, like, the peak of, it's what it's all about, guys. It's about the marginalized, you know, the weirdos, the strange people. They come together and they find their found family. It was like, what a wonderful sequence this is, and this is what it's all about. It's like, it took you, like, you I don't know, just you fucked up in so many ways.
How? How? Explain. You've made a new claim. You said you fucked up. How? How did they fuck up? Where did they fuck up in this scene? I don't care about any other scene. I want you to tell me where they fucked up in this scene. You haven't explained it. You haven't substantiated. Fringy hasn't substantiated his previous claim. Do you see what I'm saying when I say they don't like reinforce their claims with anything? They just make a claim. That's all their critic brains can get to. Make a claim. Duh! Basic cavemen make a claim. I don't substantiate my claim. Come on. Do a little bit better than this, please. You get paid. You get paid, guys. You get paid, like, maybe less than the Duffer Brothers, but you get paid. Plenty. To make a living off of YouTube. I'm living off scraps. And I'm about to be homeless. Because I only get paid by one supporter by comparison, but I'm doing a better job at this than you ever could, I guess. I punch up into the heavens because I can, and because I will, and because I will not tolerate this lazy as fuck of excuse for critique anymore. I am tired of it. I'm really sick and tired of this lazy, bare-bone critique. Show your fucking work. Substantiate your fucking claims. Prove it! As Blade once said once upon a time.
Well, I mean, clearly it didn't work as they expected, right? Because this was scorned.
Look at Nancy's face, but it looks kind of like
yeah.
So I don't know if you can see this. Like, I read that as she finds it cute.
It's a bit like, oh Jesus, Nancy, okay.
And then Joe Keery just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. And like Steve is funny because, like, what you're thinking because of his characterization, and he has known these kids forever, and you're like, why isn't he hugging? Because Steve's a pretty warm guy, should be all supportive. But then you realize that Will and Steve never share a line in this entire show,
Which is absolutely fucking insane. They keep fucking this up.
And Dumpers.
Why is that a fuck up? Do all characters need to interact with one another? Is that a thing that needs to be in writing? That's a new rule for me that I've never heard before. But, like, make that one make sense. I mean, they don't have to interact. I don't see why. I mean, directly. Like, I don't get it. Like, right? Because Steve was there helping the others hunt for Will. Well, he kind of got, scooped up into that, when, he was in the disbelief of, Jonathan and Nancy, being in the same place and all that stuff. And then, he got roped into that world in season 2, right? And then he sort of, like, gets delegated to the take care of kid group. And it's more so through Dustin more than any of the other 3. So, if anything, if Dustin were to come out, but that's not his character, then I would make that critique. Then that critique would make sense. But as it stands, it's like, he doesn't really have to do anything, no. He just needs to be there. That's all he needs to be, because that is what Will wanted. He wanted everyone to be there that was in the vicinity. He said so. Those were the words that came out of his mouth.
They were probably aware of that, and they were like, wait, I don't think we've built up this relationship, so it wouldn't make sense if they hugged. So Steve stands there awkwardly this whole scene and kind of comes off homophobic.
Why? How? Because he stands there? Standing still makes you homophobic, according to Starwars Girl. What is this fucking pathetic read? What the fuck? Standing there makes you homophobic. What? I'm sorry, what? What kind of fucking claim is that? I don't even know what to say to that one. Like, how the fuck do you reach that conclusion?
Because why wouldn't Steve hug Will, right?
If he went up and shook his hand, that would be, like, even weirder.
Yeah,
like, good job coming out, bro.
But I mean, it is highlighting that problem, which is you've got characters that you can't really do anything with because they don't have a relationship that we've seen on screen with Will.
Again, why? Why do all the characters need to interact with one another? What is this weird, like, assertion that you're making? Why? Again, this need for things. It's weird, right? I can't be the only one who's seeing this, or hearing that, right? And going like, why? Why? I keep asking why, but I never receive an answer. It'd be nice, but,
Vicky's in the room.
Well, she is. And it's like I said, Robin's like, this is great. But even she's like, I probably shouldn't get in on that group hug, though. We don't really...
and then everyone is measuring the chat. Murray. Why is Murray here?
Because Will asked everyone in the vicinity, and he was in the vicinity at the time, to hear what he had to say, Mauler. Jesus fucking Christ, how many different iterations of the same critique that I can keep pulling back to the thing that Will said that you guys, all 6 of you, ignored to make all of your critiques even substantive without any proof, because you decided to not play the scene where Will says, everyone should hear this. Let me repeat that. Will says, everyone should hear this.
The fuck are you?
You'd expect them to tell some really off-color joke when it comes out or something.
Why?
There's no way they do that. No way. No.
Well, okay, so now they don't want him to make the joke, but they also kind of want him to make the joke. So which is it? Does he make the joke or not make the joke?
No way would they have anything.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but they ruined his character. But
how? Why?
That not
tell some stupid sex joke?
That then tells us it's like, so whatever you can see on the screen right now, it's like, so we're knocking out at
okay, so apparently I have to explain this. The scenes where, you know, he's playing a romancer, because that's sort of the thing that he does, comes into play when there are 2 characters in a scene, and they're bickering with each other. That's when he comes in and says, you 2 should just fuck already, or whatever. That's been his bit consistently. There are more than 2 people in the room. Nobody's flirting in this scene, so why the fuck would he say something here? Why, like, again, think back to the actual scenes that he's doing the flirt thing that he does. It's between 2 people that are arguing with each other, and it's always male and female, because in the one time it's between Hopper and Joyce, and the other time is between Jonathan and Nancy. Those are the 2 instances where he says, you 2 should hook up, between 2 people, 2 straight couples. That's not what this scene is, so why would he do that? Why would he do something out of character for himself? It's like you want the writing to be worse. I don't know what else to say other than that. It's like, why would you guys want a character assassinate Murray? That's not Murray. You're writing a character that doesn't exist.
At least 4 people with ease. They don't even add anything to the scene. Just get them out.
Get them out when Will said, I want everyone to hear this. It's like, how do you keep fucking this up?
Give them the day off.
Yeah, like the idea that they all have to stand there for 12 hours just because it's like, we want me in the scene. Okay, cool.
My character doesn't know the gay kid, so can I go home?
Can you put up a paper version of me?
A paper version. So you want the show to look worse so you can mock it easier, right? Because you can only punch down. Right? Because that's what that just said to me. You want to punch down. Because you clearly can't punch up, because apparently the Duffer Brothers are better at this than you guys are, even though you claim that they're shit. Your critiques are worse, so... Again, I'm just using your guys' standard to say what you are.
Just a cardboard cutout, like, that would be good enough.
Yeah, you can get a PNG of me and just have me there in the back. No one would have noticed.
Also, I remember people mentioning, I don't remember the exact monologue of his, but doesn't Will, like, out Robin in this scene? Because a lot of people
So he says, I had a crush on someone I thought, I know they're not like me, and then I realized he was just my Tammy, which I think would be the closest you get to outing. I'm trying to think, because I've got it, but I think that's the closest you would get to him outing Robin.
Okay, so not completely.
By the way, Robin says, I think, if I'm not mistaken, at some later point, at least you didn't need drugs to come out. Whoops. It's like you're gonna completely ignore another thing she says, to Will. Whoops. That's a thing she says. Yikes. It's like, ooh. Oof.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
the only
fine.
person who'd know that story would be Steve, unless she told other people.
I have a question. Do you think that people would have reacted to this scene more positively if Stranger Things was made quicker, if it finished quicker?
No. They would still be homophobic, Fringy. Unfortunately, we still live in a world where there are too many people, like Critical Drinker, who sell their audience on the idea, just because there are gay characters, that they don't even belong, and then they proceed to say, we don't even want gay characters in our scene. That's your audience, by the way, too. So no, they would still complain.
Quicker if they did like one season a year. So this ended up airing in like 2021.
I don't think it would have hurt.
I think the better question is, would
have?
people have reacted positively to this if the season as a whole was just good?
It was good. Prove me wrong, Mauler. It was good. Now what? It was good. Prove me wrong, because all of your critiques have been shambled and falling apart by the seams. It was good. It was a good season. There, I said it. I've yet to see any substantive claims that make it not that. But hey. You can always just lie, I guess. But I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm gonna actually pay attention to the things I watch. And I'm gonna continue to critique things properly, even though I have one PayPal supporter. Because I have standards, Mauler. I have standards. I know that might sound pretty ridiculous, but I would like you to know that I have standards, even though you may never see this video. Peace and love and all that, right?
I thought that's where the question was
What do you
going.
think?
No, that's not what he said.
I know.
Oh, we could change it to that. What do you think if the whole season was good?
If the whole season was good, you would still have people saying, "Oh, why is Netflix spreading the message? Why do they have a gay agenda?" You would still have people saying it, Fringy. You'd still have people saying it. It's not untrue. I wish it weren't. I wish we could just move past that point and just say, there's a gay character, he's well written, etc., 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 or maybe they fumbled the bag in the writing. You don't even have to say anything else other than that, and then prove your claim with evidence. That's all you would have to do, but you guys, your side of the aisle, and the people in your comment sections, and other people who make videos, they will say, and I've seen it, so I know, they will say, the gay agenda, it's woke, it's, what are the other phrases that they use, they'll, even if it's good, because this is good, so that's how I know that they would still do it, because it's good. Because I could just make a claim and not assert why it's good. Those are EFAP standards, folks. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? That's their standard. I'm just using it.
No, I think that people would generally find this to be a solid, if not great, scene if everything surrounding it were like.
Well, the only reason I say with the time span is just because the longer Stranger Things has gone on, the more that the fact that it's taken so long for the show to come out feels.
Who cares how long it takes? We care about the end product. We know this. Real reviewers and real critics know this. It's not about how long it takes, it's about the end result. Point blank. Sorry. It's just the honest truth, Fringy. You know this, but you're gonna pretend like you don't in this moment for whatever fucking reason.
like it's contributed to the
if it all comes
rising
out
negativity
on
world.
time, I don't think the show's reputation changes.
Maybe not. I mean, I think there's also, I mean, there's more
Maybe.
cultural baggage that gets brought in with it as well.
Oh, cultural baggage, you say, LittlePlatoon. I wonder who gives into that that culture, like the critical drinker yourself, because I've heard you say plenty of interesting things on your channel, so I know that you're this is a bait self-report, if I may use an Among Us term. Bait self-report, you're talking to a mirror right now, LittlePlatoon. I would know because I watched your Superman review, and in your Superman review, you do exactly what you're saying. You bring up the cultural stuff in a weird, non-fitting to the movie sort of way. That's what you do. You could have just said the names of the fictional places, but you brought up Palestine. That was you, LittlePlatoon. So don't pretend that you don't bring the culture war back into position. Don't pretend like you're not just talking about yourself.
Obviously, the more years pass, the more other shows do similarly unartful things artlessly, and
Well,
so
the fact
it's
that Netflix
more
has such
typical
a-
than it is now, yeah.
Okay, fucking people aren't listening to me. They're like, it's not a necessary scene, Mauler. Where the fuck did I say that?
Well, I mean, it was heavily implied. That's for sure.
I said it was a bad scene.
And you didn't substantiate your claim either, by the way, when you said it was a bad scene.
Like, it's badly done, it's overwritten,
It's overwritten, again, without any proof.
it's poorly executed. I'm
Poorly executed without any proof.
saying, in a season filled with good shit, people would be saying this scene is good.
Yeah, but there will also be people saying, on your side of the aisle, your audience would say, in videos of your ilk would say, it's too woke. You can't have this scene. It's the gay agenda, implying that an agenda is bad when they say it, and that there's something nefarious with this agenda because they never explain what it is, to leave it a mystery, to spread fear into the audience. Homophobia, spreading fear, illogical fear to the audience. Homophobia, that's how that works, you see. I know. It's really basic psychological information I'm giving you guys, but you may want to consider that since you guys participate in that circle as well. You may want to talk to your people about that, like Critical Drinker, your buddy LittlePlatoon there, who's made a very suspicious video about Superman, mentioning real-life wars when you don't need to. Things of that nature, you know. You might want to start there. Start within your own home, you know? Like the good Bible says, start with your own home, right? Start with the self. Really get in there.
Generally
Yeah.
speaking, especially on Twitter. You guys are wrong
Also,
if you think otherwise.
Yeah.
I think
Anything would.
this scene would be like cheered on.
As well as panned for just having gay characters in it. We know this.
As fuck. And it would be
Absolutely, yeah.
If not even in a good season, if this happened like in the first or second episode of this season, I honestly
Why would it happen then? Why would it need to happen then? Like, what are your expectations of why it would need to happen then? Like, give me something to work with. You're making a new claim that, like, it could have been at the beginning of the season, and I guess it could have been, but it's like, tell me why that would work. What makes that work more? You know, like anything will do. Anything at this point, right? I'm waiting.
think that
For it set in. Yeah. I
if it
think
was
so.
some kind of side plot.
Why would it need to be a side plot? Why can't it be a main plot? Tell me why. Tell me why, Starwars Girl. Why can't it be the main plot? What's wrong with it being a main plot? That's a really interesting question, isn't it? It sounds to me like you don't want main characters to be in a certain spot. Where's the lie? I'll wait. You can respond to that. You won't. But if you do, tell me why. Tell me why a gay character can't have a main plot about him coming out. Why? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why!
Right? If it was not integral to this weirdly entangled with the main plot, if it was kind of...
Why is it weirdly entangled? Why is it not just interwoven into the main plot? Why is it weird? Starwars Girl, why is it weird? That's an interesting word to use. Why is it weird? I'm really dissecting where the deep, insidious homophobia is coming from, Starwars Girl. I don't know. It sounds to me like you're really not being too careful. It's almost as if you didn't suspect that somebody would respond to you. But I'm asking, why is it weird? Why is it weird? Why can't they have a main plot? I'm asking the real questions. Answer them.
Like Will's moment of coming out just for the sake of it in the first few...
Not for the sake of it. That's a lie. We know why. He wants to overcome his fear and be accepted by his friends for who he truly is. That's not for no reason. So stop lying, Starwars Girl, please. Please stop lying. Please stop lying. I would really appreciate for you to stop lying to me.
Few episodes of this season, I think people would worship it.
But there would also be people who would be like you, who say it's weird. Say that it doesn't need to be a main plot. Despite it being good. Because it is good. Because I said so. Without substantiating my claim as to why it's good. But I guess I can just do that, right? I could just make claims without substantiating my claims, EFAP, right? That's your standard. I'm using your standard, guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Step the fuck up! You get paid to do this. Explain yourselves.
But that's not how it went.
And even if people were disinclined to like that sort of thing anyway, it might be less objectionable if it wasn't the the moment toward which everything was ramping up in the penultimate episode of the entire season. It's like someone I remember making the point, like it almost resembles some of those really shitty faith-based movies which kind of pause the plot every now and then just to preach at you.
Give an example of that. I mean, I probably can think of some, but I actually, like, the religious movies that I have seen tend to be more, like, within the character story-driven aspect realm, so maybe give an example of what you mean other than making the joke, because I think I know what he's referring to, but again, he's being too vague. He's not substantiating the joke, so I don't know. You see, you can't even tell jokes properly, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And, like, yeah, you can, like, be overly preachy in a preachy movie. It's like, what's wrong with that? I don't know. I think religious people really like that kind of stuff, I guess. Right? That's the audience it would appeal to the religious folk. Like, it has its own sort of subset of audience, and then the character-driven stories can, like, appeal to, like, even people outside of that.
Same thing.
Well, and have we noted,
anyway,
right?
I know we have to go and blow up the world, but let me just briefly tell you about how amazing Jesus is. Okay, now that's done. Back to the story.
It's always God's not dead. The whole thing of like, I hate God. Well, how can you hate God if you don't believe in it? Then they all stand up and say God's not dead.
Fringy, he got owned so hard.
And he did, and then he got hit by a car, and they're like, quick.
What is Fringy referring to? Like, is this some sort of inside joke? Cause, boy, it would be really nice to know what the fuck he's talking about, so I can actually know what the fuck he's talking about. Cause, boy, this seems to be just meandering at this point, because, you're not talking about the scene anymore. I left this in to, to show what the opposing side is trying, because they're trying to cover their bases, is what I'm trying to say right here. They're trying to say, oh, religious people can also fuck up, you see. It's not just the woke crowd, it can be the other side of the aisle, right? It's like, again, you should probably tell your audience what the fuck you're talking about first, and then make the joke. It would probably land a little bit better. I'm just saying. I'm not a joke expert by any means, but I would think that's the setup would be the name of the movie, and then the payoff would be the rest of the joke. I don't know, but that's just me.
Quick.
And then everyone, he got hit by a bus, and then the bus claps, yeah.
And then he's like, yes, Jesus, I love you. I was like, oh, it's okay, even though he's had all of his organs smushed up. But
he's saying all this stuff, like, from an example of a thing that I'm not clearly getting. And I guess some other people on this panel are in on whatever movie they're referring to. But it'd be really nice to know what the fuck they're talking about, because, they ain't talking about the scene no more. The scene that they have failed to criticize properly, by the way. Because I have debunked them.
It's okay, he's going to heaven now.
He did a Scott Adams.
Well,
Wow, that was...
not. I don't think that's what they go for in God's Not Dead. It's like the character.
God's Not Dead. Okay, so now they say the name of the title after the fact. I guess I'll have to see that movie to know what the fuck they're talking about.
To actually, things like, you know what, you were right. I do believe Scott Adams just said, "Yeah, I'll say it just in case." This is Pascal's wager.
Pascal's wager thing, right? Yeah. Whereas the whole point in God's Not Dead is that he does hate God. It's not that he's an atheist who doesn't believe in God. He hates God.
Yeah.
And then he needs to be convinced, nah, God's awesome, man, and Jesus, you know, just say you love him and you'll be all good. And wasn't the thing in that movie that, like, the Christian guy was it was really going bad for him. He lost his girlfriend and everything was going wrong, but then he did the big speech and it all turned around and everybody did, "Oh,
he
Captain,
just has
my
that
Captain."
kind of power, Fringy.
Mm-hmm.
He could turn your life
Well, I
around.
mean, in any case, yeah, I mean, the placement of this... Because like, this episode's nearly over. Like, this is, like, the penultimate sort of, you know, it's all been... This is, like, the...
When they leave this with you
I want
for...
the Duffer Brothers with
how long is
the
it?
thematic core of the, What's that, sorry?
They leave this as, like, the big moment for... Is it a week?
Yeah, for a week. It was a week, so this is what you get as your, like, on Christmas Day. This is your Christmas present. Because this was Christmas Day, wasn't it?
Yep. And people were already pretty dissatisfied with the state of Volume 2 anyway, so to have...
Why were they dissatisfied? Like, I have yet to see their criticisms, whoever they're referring to. It's like, but why? Why are people being dissatisfied? Actually bring those up. You know, prove your claim, right? Just don't make a claim. Do more work, please. That's all I'm asking. More work.
Have this be the end. It's not as though Brilliant Season leads up to scene which is controversial. It's season which seems already to be unraveling quite clearly has priorities wrong. Oh shit. Another.
Why? You haven't made... I mean, I've seen some of their other stuff about seasons 2 and 3 and 4 and so on, so I know that their complaints are as vague as Dustin made a mistake, therefore bad writing. Season 2. There, the end. Hopper was character assassinated, was abuse with no evidence. Season 2 bad because of those two things. Season 3 was bad because they went to Russia. I think was their entire critique of that. Season 4 was slightly better, but had the Eddie problem, which is the only critique I would only add one thing to make that scene not have, you know, substantiated in Season 5, because it's the only critique that I think is even emblematic of anything that is an issue. You see, the fix there should have been, there should have been a character outside of Vecna's house, whoever that is, it doesn't really matter who, signals to Eddie via walkie-talkie that they need more time. That's all they needed to add in that entire sequence. That's it. That would have justified Eddie being like, fuck, I need to stay here a little bit longer, clearly. And then he rides out and baits the bats away to, like, maintain their attention to his side of the area, while, you know, Nancy, Jonathan, and I believe Robin, those are the three inside the house, are, you know, whoever would have been outside would have been telling the other two inside of that, they needed, or telling Eddie, rather, sorry, that they needed more time. So there, like, I can critique the show better. I've given an example. I've substantiated my claim. I've given the better thing that would have been necessary for that scene to still maintain its end effect. I'm not trying to change the scene entirely. I'm just adding one simple detail that fixes the entire scene. See, that's the difference between a real critic and a fake critic. Is a real critic should be able to look at a scene, look at what they're trying to accomplish, and say, how can we achieve that just a little bit better? That's all you have to do as a critic, but apparently EFAP cannot reach that potential yet. Or have dropped in quality, if they were ever really good to begin with. But maybe they were always just dog shit, and they just got paid to be dog shit. Who's to say? Maybe I can just make a new claim without any substantiative evidence again, because that seems to be EFAP standard, and they get paid way more than I will ever in my lifetime. That's for certain.
There's only one left. All the stuff that we haven't answered that's never going to get answered, we've only got one episode left.
Like what? What hasn't been answered yet? I want to hear it from you, because I have no fucking clue. What hasn't been answered yet from previous seasons? I want to hear it from you, because I don't know. You haven't given me anything that has been missing, so tell me what has been missing that needs to be updated. Tell me, LittlePlatoon. No? Basic critique, no? Anything?
Left. So we've taken all of this time to do this, instead of trying to fix things people still
Fix things like?
hoped might be fixed, which is
Like?
not ideal.
Like? Oh, he's not going to answer, right. Because that's a basic EFAP formula. Make claim, don't substantiate claim.
Maybe because, of course, Breaking Bad is an easy thing to, you know, the end.
What about Breaking Bad? It's like, what? Really? Can we focus on the show at hand? Are we really? You seem to be dragging this on longer than it needs to be. And this is coming from someone who's never seen Breaking Bad, spoiler alert. Strike me down, for I've never seen Breaking Bad yet. Maybe I never will. I've only heard good things about it, but I don't know. It's never been a show that seemed appealing to me. But maybe, I don't know.
Of the penultimate episode of Breaking Bad is very hype. You know, it is.
Yeah.
It's a very exciting. There's a.
Does something need? Does a penultimate episode need to be hype? The answer is no. A penultimate episode can leave you in a sense of dread. Like, oh shit, we barely have enough time. We just had enough time for Will to come out, but we still barely have enough time. Dread. Building dread is something you could also do to in a penultimate episode. I don't know if you know that, Fringy. Not everything has to be hype. I know you want to live in Superman land or something or whatever the fuck, even though you hate Superman the movie, even though it's good. Yeah, like, this idea that something needs to be hype. Not necessarily. Again, why are you narrowing down the creativity of a penultimate episode, Fringy? Why can't be something that be filled with a sense of dread? Why can't that be the penultimate episode? Like, uh-oh, they better fucking clutch in the next fucking episode. Or, who's gonna die, even though we know the answers to that now. But that was the question. That was the dread at the time, before we knew. It was, oh fuck, was somebody good? And people were speculating. Uh-oh, I debunked your entire claim. People were dreading. Oh no, I substantiated my fucking claim. Uh-oh. Seems like I'm doing more work than EFAP right now. Yikes.
You know, it's like, oh shit, we're going, you know, that's like, that's the feeling that it instills, which is generally what you want to instill in, you know, if you want to have like a big exciting finale, is like, oh my god, we are moving, you know, like, it's... Again,
he's still kind of dragging this on, but why can't a penultimate episode be filled with dread? Why does it have to be hype? Why? It wouldn't make sense that you would be hyped for this. This is a horror show with suspense and thrills. That's the aim, and that's what they fucking achieved. Holy fuck.
We're barreling towards the conclusion, whereas here, there's not much momentum in a scene like this, obviously, kind of like by design. But even then, like, in terms of an understanding of what's about to happen, there's not really much momentum either. It's like, what is the finale going to be about? It's like, well, I guess it is Steve's fucking plan.
See, why are you downplaying Steve's fucking plan? It works. Why are you downplaying it? Isn't your guys' claim that Steve is an awesome character? So why are you downplaying Steve's plan, huh? Fringy? No, it should be Steve's fucking awesome plan, alright? Put some respect on Steve's name if you're gonna respect Steve, alright? Don't downplay your favorite character. Why are you doing that? Why are you disrespecting like that? Unnecessary hustle, baby. Unnecessary hustle. That's just disrespect. That's just disrespect.
That is what the finale is going to be. It's like, I don't think I have a good grasp on what any of this means.
Maybe, Fringy, you, Matt. I'm gonna say the thing that they hate because they want to mock it because they don't want to be called it. Maybe, Fringy, you lack media literacy. There, I fucking said it. Maybe you just lack it. If you don't understand the basic fucking material, because holy fuck, how do you not put all of this together? This is really fucking easy. This is like it's your job and you're refusing to do your job. That's what you just said to me.
And I don't feel like we've got much energy or vitality coming into it, but... And so...
It's almost as if you have dread. Dread of, will everybody make it? At the time? Will everyone truly survive? At the time? It's almost as if you can completely tell a different sort of penultimate episode, Fringy. Crazy, I know. It's almost as if there's other things you can do in a penultimate episode. I know that sounds crazy, but maybe you should gain enough media literacy to understand that. Maybe one day you'll be 5 years old and upgrade from Critique 101. Fringy? That'd be nice. Because you get paid money to do this.
And so with that in mind, like, I think it explains why people felt so negatively. There's an expectation of revelations or, you know, an exciting reveal, but, you know.
Like, what was missing? Like, give me an example of, like, what was missing, because I still don't know, based on this. Do you want me to go searching, scouring the internet for other reviews that say, XXX were missing, guys? No, that's not my job. That's your job. You're making a claim. Substantiate your claim, Fringy. Prove your point. Say what the fuck was missing. What is it? What is it? The ether? Am I just supposed to know what this magical set of things are that have yet to be answered? Because you refuse to answer them, so how am I supposed to know? You're making me stupid. You're making me feel stupid, Fringy. I really hate being stupid. I really like being smart. I really, really like being smart, Fringy. So please, turn your brain on and give me an example of what you mean.
There's nothing like that.
As we noted, once this and then the next episode came out, everyone became obsessed with plot hole hunting, which...
Okay, and? Who cares? Who cares about what... It's like... Yeah, you haven't even substantiated it, so... Why should I care about what you have to say about plot holes?
Is fascinating because you can find so many in seasons 4, 3, 2, and there's some in 1 as well.
Any examples would be nice. You've made a new claim, Mauler. It would be nice for you to substantiate your claim, because your examples of plot hole include character is, in season 2, character is, makes a mistake, therefore bad writing, but I don't know if that qualifies as a plot hole. It'd be nice to know what you guys mean by plot hole, unless you're not going to answer it like you refuse to answer anything else, because you just make claims and don't substantiate your claims like everything else you've done in this clip that I am now showing you guys.
Even in 1, but all of a sudden with this season, everybody decided that they wanted to analyze stories.
Well, it comes across to me as like, it made you feel like shit, and so now you want to make fun of it, and you can't just say like, I don't like it. You need to find more things to hit it on. And of course, what bothers me, and by extension I assume us, is that it's like, well, hey, these things exist in a lot of stuff that you would otherwise hype the hell up. So why is it a problem now?
Mm-hmm.
Where did it bring?
Well, how many of these people are going to forget all of this when the Odyssey comes out, and then all the people who like
what about future product? Let's be real. Once your grift is done, you're also going to move on from this show, just like everybody else, EFAP. So, nice to prove your own hypocrisy. I mean, it's a nice trick, but two can play at that game. Because this is also my last video on Stranger Things, or should be, if this is going to be EFAP's last one. Because this was dog shit.
Well, Supergirl?
Story start complete. Wow.
Fringy, 100% of them. 100%. Every single one.
Yeah.
Including you guys, so why even bring this up? You guys are gonna move on unless Stranger Things makes something new. Which, apparently they are. They're making that animated show, I think. So, people will probably be back, and then EFAP, you'll be back, to grift. Because that's what that would be at that point. You'd be grifting. Doubling down on your current grifting. Just to point that out right now. So, you better stick to your claim. Because if you guys go back to Stranger Things at any point, you're proving with 100% certainty that you are grifters. Without any reasonable doubt now. Now that you have said everyone else has moved on, if you guys go back, when Stranger Things Animated eventually comes on air, if it ever does, I better not say a single coverage of EFAP on it. I better not. Because then that just reinforces that EFAP's willing to grift again. Thanks. Thanks for that.
Probably 100%. Yeah.
You are being ridiculously hyperbolic. It'll be 99.9. All right, not 100. Come on.
There's that one guy. Well, that one guy.
Hey, I'm that one guy making a video about you right now, Rag. So, you better be careful about what you say about one guy, because one guy can do a lot of damage potentially. So, power's an interesting thing that can be held within one guy. One guy that can completely decimate all of your talking points. like a snap of a fucking finger, because it was like a fucking cakewalk.
Hey, wait a second.
By the way, guys, it's not a very exciting trailer for the Odyssey. Like, I don't... Even if you put to one side the whole conversation around the historic...
Alright, well, I ended the clip there because they stopped talking about the scene. So that was it. That was a complete clusterfuck of vagary, making claims without substantiating them, outright lying, all in the name of trying to say that this scene is bad. And I'm really tired of it. I want my critique companions to do better jobs, because they get paid more than I ever will in my lifetime. I suspect so much better. Reviewing is an art form, just like making a movie. It really truly is. And you have to put a lot of work in it. This is what I believe. You have to put a lot of work in. You have to watch everything you're going to critique, number one. And you have to point stuff out, like what's happening in the show. That's 101, right? Summarizing, that's 101. That's like introduction to review, is being able to summarize what you just saw. Then being able to take away what you summarized and being able to prove through that summarization, through these events, what is good and what is bad. And pointing to things with proof and claims, using other bits and bobs to make the claim whether something is good or bad. And then, let's just say if something is bad, this is when you become a really good reviewer in my eyes. You say how to improve upon it, how I just did with the Eddie scene. That's how you become a better reviewer. This is not like a one-step program, you say, being a reviewer. It's a process, just like writing. It really, truly is. And as somebody who has been doing this well over a decade with only 200 subscribers and 1 PayPal supporter, I can guarantee you mayhaps I may very well be end up homeless. But I'm still willing to do more work than EFAP in this regard. I will continue to do my due diligence when I review a series. And if I fuck up, I will say so. I will say, oh shit, like if someone points out in a comic, oh you forgot, in a scene, you forgot this, this, and this, and I'll be like, oh shit, you got me. Point taken. I'll actually, take into criticism, actual criticism. Like, I'll actually take it in and absorb it and learn from it. Because that's what also real critics ought to do, is get better at crafting so that they can do better at telling other people, hey, this is how you improve your work. No matter what type of work it is in terms of storytelling, this is how you can improve it just a smidge. Baby step by baby step. Pushing and pulling. But never being so vague, never being so dishonest. Because that's just wrong. That is a standard which needs to be erased from this platform. It needs to go the fuck away. Because I am really sick and tired of it. I want people to be able to prove without a shadow of doubt this thing is bad. I've made videos, hot takes of things that are bad. Spider-Verse, I think, is one of my top ones, if I'm not mistaken. The first one. I ranted about that movie. And, at the time, it was like a long time ago, and I recall, I mentioned how, something about, one of the characters and how I didn't remember their name, and people lambasted me in the comments about that, that I didn't know one of the villains' names, and I'm not remembering it right now, so that, mayhaps that should tell you something, if I'm, like, oh, what was that guy's name? Like, I'm trying to even recall it right now, and I'm struggling to. Point being, is that a real critic should be able to look and be able to be critique themselves as critics. We should hold each other accountable. If EFAP is gonna get paid as much as they do, they should be held accountable to the dog shit that this is. Because I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of sitting at 200 subscribers, one PayPal supporter, and pulling more work in. I'm really fucking tired of it. My name is Mustached. If you ended up enjoying me destroying EFAP once again, and mayhaps for the last time, but who the fuck knows, they might jump back in and fuck up again. Just know, I'm gonna call it out though. I'm gonna say you guys are grifters immediately. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. You're just grifting on Stranger Things now, because you made that claim that everybody is gonna forget, right? So you guys better forget about Stranger Things yourselves, 370. I better not hear any talk about Stranger Things moving forward then, past this episode. Not once. That'd be holding to your own standard, because you said everybody. That includes yourselves. Anyway, if you ended up enjoying me dismantling this scene for you yet again, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to a channel that's working really, really hard to do my job that I barely get paid to do. You can check out the links in the description. One will head you over to a petition. This petition helps out other smaller channels get recognized. And you can also enjoy my series, Respect the Grind, where I shout out smaller YouTubers individually, because apparently just asking for other people to sign a petition to make sure YouTube pays attention and makes a tab dedicated to smaller YouTubers. Since that doesn't work, I'm reaching out to smaller YouTubers myself, so you can check out that series if you want to check out better YouTubers that are either fresh starting, they're not reaching that 1,000 subscriber mark, but they're really putting the grind in, they're putting in the work, so I'm gonna call them out, doing more of a job than YouTube itself. You can also check out beneath that is my PayPal. Well, hopefully one day I can get more than one PayPal supporter, hopefully. Pray to the gods that my critiquing style will provide more support than just one. That'd be lovely. And lastly, to my Discord server, which is free, because I know that there are other Discord servers that you need to pay up for. There's a paywall between you and a Discord server. Not me. You could just ask to join my Discord server, and you can join, collaborate, communicate with each other, communicate to collaborate. You can shill your own content for free. It's all free right there. It's amazing that I don't have a lot of people on that channel right now, but hey, if you managed to reach this far, then do all that stuff, and until next time everyone, bye!